Hello everyone, welcome to the show. Please hit the like button and give this video a thumbs up. Robyn Brown from Sister Wives is getting lots of attention after the newest tell-all episode. The family has felt many different feelings as they try to deal with Garrison's sad death. But to answer all the fan questions, Kody, Robyn, Krishnan, Chanel, and Mary had to meet up again with Sukanya Krishnan, the host of the tell-all show. Robyn says something shocking about Kody and how he lies. To read what she said, keep reading. Kody Brown is tired of people saying bad things about Sister Wives. Sukanya surprised Kody in the newest Sister Wives tell-all episode when she asked if he ever treated his wives the same way. Kody says that Robyn and he were picked on for their love, but he thinks their relationship was good. He says that everyone has their own way of loving their partners or kids. Kody then said that he and Robyn had a better kind of love. Kody said something different before when he said he wanted to treat everyone equally, which made Sukanya confused about what he really meant. Robyn tells everyone about Kody's lies. Robyn Brown quietly criticized Kody for lying at the tell-all. This happened after Kody explained why he said he never loved Krishnan, Chanel, and Mary, his ex-wives. Even though Kody says he never changed until Robyn came, the first wives noticed it right away. About him saying he never loved his wives. "Yeah, I feel like that was changing what really happened," Robyn said, showing that she wasn't supporting Kody either. When they were dating, Robyn said that Kody would tell her how much he loved his 3 wives before her. But Robyn might have decided to become Kody's 4th wife because he showed her how much he cared about her. Kody Brown's sister wives, everyone should be like Robyn. Also, Kody Brown said that he was trying hard to give Robyn the same love as the other wives, but the other 3 didn't like what he said. Confused, Mary asked Sukanya if everyone needed to be Robyn to get his love. "It would have been nice if Kody had talked to them about it back then," Chanel said, laughing. Krishnan then said that it was a complete lie and that it would never happen. TLC's Big Tell-All show will show part 2 on June 1, 2025. Chanel will also talk about how she doesn't like Robyn and Kody in the second part of the tell-all. It will also show Krishnan being annoyed at being called Kody's favorite ex-wife, why Robyn Brown was good for the first wives and Sister Wives. Robyn Brown from Sister Wives has been in many big problems for years. She was blamed by many fans for the Brown family breaking up. Some said that she somehow made Kody make choices that were only good for her and her kids. After moving to Flagstaff, the Brown family fell apart. Mary and Chanel leaving was also shown in the newest season, but some fans think that Robyn was still a good thing for the 3 first wives. To find out why, keep reading. Sister Wives, is Robyn Brown keeping the tell-all safe? Robyn acted strangely in the first part of the season 19 tell-all. She was asked what she thought about Kody and Mary's breakup and what might have made the family fall apart. During one of her interviews, Robyn said that she would respect Mary and Kody by not answering any questions about them. She did say that Mary asked to be left alone and that there is another part to Mary leaving their religion that she wouldn't talk about. Why the first wives were lucky to have Robyn. On social media, some Sister Wives fans talked about how Robyn Brown might have helped Mary, Krishnan, and Chanel. The person posting says that Robyn was a gift to the 3 first women and that they would have suffered even more if she hadn't joined the family. It's clear that Robyn was a big reason the family broke up, but the poster sees it as a hidden good thing. Mary, Krishnan, and Chanel are having great times right now. While Chanel is now building her dream home in North Carolina, Krishnan is now happily married. Mary has been talking about self-love and is still doing great in Utah. After the split, the first wives will live happy lives. The kids who have little or no contact with their dad and have had to watch him take Robyn's kids and have his own kids with her to make his new better family are the ones who have really lost. When you get a Robyn in life, I feel this way about the woman my ex-boyfriend left me for. Being pregnant made the divorce very hard for me, but now that I've had time to heal, I'm thankful it happened every day. I think Christine said in a private talk that she saw how her and Kody's relationship could or should be after watching it. In a way, I think it made the other three realize what a relationship should be like instead of the scraps they were given. Sister wives. Robyn came to the Brown house with lots of debt. When Robyn Brown joined the family, it caused lots of problems. The three other wives had to help pay off the sister wives' star's big debt and also help build her a house. But after moving to Flagstaff, Janelle, Mary, and Christine had trouble getting their own homes. Kody promised to bring them together at Coyote Pass, a big piece of land, but it never happened and the land was finally sold. A very emotional meeting recently brought together the once united polygamous family, which loyal viewers have known. From years of TV storytelling, the remaining spouses and their ex-partner face their truths on a stage made for big reveals. After going through a time of terrible loss and ongoing family fights, each member had to deal with the mess of their broken relationships, unsolved anger, and surprising truths. As audience questions poured in like a wave of curiosity, the man, at the center of the storm, whose actions once decided the family's path, was now facing criticism from the public and pushback from those who had supported him before. This was a time of facing consequences, not just a talk. A historic room, unspoken pain and clear hurt filled the studio mood. The family members gathered, each carrying the weight of past choices, broken relationships, and shared sadness. Feelings had been running high since the terrible death of one of their kids. Even though it was meant to bring clarity, the meeting quickly became a battlefield of uncomfortable truths. The host, who was used to the pressure and good at getting people to admit things, started the talk calmly and carefully. But it didn't take long for the man who was once thought of as the family's leader to face hard questions. The most important of these was whether he had ever treated each of his wives with the same care, love, and respect. When love isn't shared fairly, the man didn't hold back from saying his frustration. Since his journey from spiritual leader to troubled ex-husband had happened on live TV, he said that he had faced years of criticism, mostly because of his love for one specific partner, his newest wife. He thought that the backlash came from a love that had become too obvious and strong. He believed that he and his partner had been punished for showing what he thought was a real connection, but his tries to defend the differences caused more worry than they helped to calm. In his talk about human relationships, he said that each person forms bonds in their own way, but his next statement, where he admitted that his love for his newest wife was stronger than any others, hit a sore spot. The confession hung in the air like smoke, drifting toward the women who had supported him for decades. This statement was very different from earlier on-camera scenes where he had promised to treat each partner equally and fairly. Everyone in the room knew about the contradiction, breaking the silence. The last woman to join the family was the real surprise. Even though the host stayed calm, she rarely showed her loyalty in public, often choosing polite support over conflict. But she couldn't hold back this time. She responded to her husband's latest claims that he had never really loved his previous wives in a calm but clearly strong way. After pausing, she revealed the truth she could no longer ignore. This version of history didn't match what she had seen. He often talked about his love for his past wives in the early days of their dating, she said. These statements weren't just random, they were the foundation for her decision to join the family. Besides hurting the women he had claimed to love, he was lying to her if he suddenly said those connections never happened. It was a rare moment of honesty from the woman who had long been seen as the cause of conflict. Instead of defending him, she pointed out the contradiction, suggesting that his version of events might have been more about protecting his ego than telling the truth about reality. Voices from the past. The other women came forward one by one, sharing their thoughts. The most quiet of the original three, known for her strength in dealing with emotional distance, wondered if she had ever felt true love. She asked, smiling, with mixed feelings, whether they all had to follow the example of the newest wife to get even a small bit of the love that had been promised. The practical and strong wife, who is often called the most independent, laughed at how ridiculous it was. She thought that if he had just told them the truth, they could have made different choices years ago. The last voice, fierce and without apology, called the whole story dishonest. Her tone was harsh, not because she was angry, but because she had been pushed aside and silenced for years. No amount of rewriting could erase what they had lived through, she said. The perfect wife myth. One thing became clear as the talk continued: only one man had the idea of the perfect spouse in his head. He said that even though he had tried his best to balance love between all couples, his idea of fairness was seriously wrong. According to his latest admissions, he had always valued one lover more than the others, possibly without knowing it, creating his emotional world around her and expecting the others to take the leftovers. But without honesty, love cannot grow. Now, instead of being obedient followers, the women who had supported him through countless hardships stood before him as people unwilling to give their lives for a goal that never treated them fairly. The next chapter begins. The focus turned to the future as the episode ended. The woman who was once thought of as his favorite talked honestly about the stress that was still there. If anything, her relationship with him had made her a target rather than protecting her from criticism. She seemed to be more aware of how complicated things were than ever before, now that she was dealing with criticism from the others and wondering where she fit into a broken family. Meanwhile, one of the wives hinted at lasting anger toward the woman she had once called a sister, as well as her ex-husband. Finally, their tense and long quiet dynamic was being brought into the spotlight. Another expressed her frustration at being called the most favored ex-partner, a title she felt was insulting and talking down to her. No woman should feel good by comparison, she explained, her voice shaking with anger. Ultimately, the event showed more than just emotional scars. It showed a family that was formed by devotion, broken by favoritism, and finally headed toward the truth. A specific woman who joined a well-known polygamous family has been the subject of controversy and discussion among their show's viewers and followers for a long time. She was often shown as a troublemaking figure, and many fans blamed her for causing conflict within the family and helping to break apart the previously close-knit home. Critics said that because of her presence, the father of the family made decisions that unfairly favored her and her kids, making the original wives feel ignored or pushed aside. After moving to a new town in the Southwest, where their hopes of starting over were eventually crushed, the family's problems seemed to get worse. A major change in the family's dynamics and structure was brought about by two longtime wives leaving in the most recent episodes. A growing number of followers started to see this woman's involvement as something more complex, even helpful for the original wives in the long run. Despite the chaos and heartbreak, this viewpoint sees her as an unexpected gift, sparking the empowerment and final freedom of those women who had long suffered from emotional abuse and broken promises. Handling the tell-all, self-control, and unspoken truth. This woman showed an unusual level of wisdom and restraint in the first section of the most recent tell-all special. To show respect for both the father and the founding wife, she refused to comment when asked about her feelings about their recent split. She stayed careful despite the audience's strong desire for her honest thoughts about the family's breakdown. She did, however, hint at requests made within their shared religious group, which she chose not to discuss in public, suggesting that there were deeper unreported complications behind the original wife's decision to divorce. Whether seen as loyalty or avoidance, this silence created more interest in the roles that each member played and the real reasons behind the family's breakdown. A controversial troublemaker, her benefits for the original wives. Some voices that offered a new story of this woman's impact appeared on fan forums and social media sites. Many claimed that her arrival served as a wake-up call for the original wives rather than just as a disruption. According to one smart observer, she was a hidden gift to the three women who had been with the family from the start, suggesting that their long-term pain and emotional stuckness might have continued forever if she had never been involved. Her presence is widely accepted to have played a major role in the family's breakdown, but this same factor turned out to be a turning point, a driving force behind the original wives' recovery of their identities, independent pursuit of happiness, and self-worth. These days, every woman has built a happy life for herself. One has welcomed a happy new marriage. Another is building her dream home in a peaceful area far from their previous life, while the third is still going strong, passionately advocating for emotional well-being and self-love. The children caught in the middle, the true losers. The effects of the family's turmoil have not been painless. Even if the initial wives saw some positive outcomes, the children are among the most severely affected, and many of them currently have strained or limited relationships with their father. The older children often feel abandoned or forgotten as a result of the father's new life, which is centered on this woman and her kids, creating a new family unit that some view as preferred. Discussions about blended families' complexities and the psychological effects of child separation have been sparked by this situation. In reality, the youngest family members must navigate a shattered family environment, adjusting to shifting loyalties and changing relationships, while the adults have discovered paths for happiness and personal growth. Lessons learned from grief to recovery. The bittersweet aspect of these family upheavals was echoed in a personal reflection given by one follower. She explained how, despite being incredibly challenging at the time and made much harder by the fact that she was expecting a child, her own divorce ultimately turned into a source of gratitude. Because of time and distance, she was able to view the separation as a chance for personal growth and renewal rather than just a loss. In a similar way, the father's relationship with his newer companion seems to have opened the eyes of the original women in this story to new possibilities. One of the founding wives apparently realized, after witnessing this interaction, what a supportive and healthy partnership should look like, a standard that had been missing or inadequate in her prior experience. This insight enabled the first women to look for more equal and fulfilling partnerships rather than settling for scraps of respect and affection. The complex financial dynamics, housing, debt, and broken promises. There was financial chaos surrounding the newcomer's arrival into the household. Her large debt at the time of her joining became a burden that the whole family had to bear. It was expected that the original wives would help in meeting her financial responsibilities and helping to build her new house. Tension resulted from this arrangement, particularly since the three founding wives themselves had trouble finding secure housing. The family had been promised a big vision when they moved to their new home in the Southwest, a large estate where all of the women could live together peacefully, a new beginning that would promote harmony and prosperity for all. The center of this dream was a large plot of land that was supposed to serve as a haven where the whole family could develop and thrive. Unfortunately, this vision never came to pass. A chapter full of broken dreams and unfulfilled expectations came to an end when the land was eventually sold and the expected community living area never happened. The already shaky family bonds were further strained by the financial burden and failed promises. Public perception and emotional chaos. Both fans and critics have closely examined the woman's part in the family drama. She was often portrayed as the father's emotional shield, a wall preventing him from facing harsh realities and attending to the needs of the first wives. Her careful behavior in public interviews only served to increase speculation about her real emotions and goals. Many fans believed that she carefully considered what she said in order to preserve the family's reputation and her own standing within it. Viewers were divided by this seeming quietness. While some praised her judgment, others saw it as manipulation or coldness. The road to independence of the original wives. The stories of the initial wives are also ones of empowerment and strength. Despite the emotional turmoil, after many years of living under the restrictions of a plural marriage, each woman set out on her own path to self-discovery, healing, and independence. One wife fell in love once more, establishing a new family based on respect for one another and sincere love. Another devoted her energies to developing a haven that reflected her own goals and ideals, with the goal of establishing a peaceful home atmosphere away from the family's turbulent background. The third has turned into a champion for emotional health and self-acceptance, drawing on her personal experience to encourage those who have encountered similar challenges. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Get more updates daily. See you soon.